Welcome. If it's your first time, my name is Paul Bernard II. I go by PB. I've been a full-time content creator and entrepreneur for about the last 5 years. If you're coming back to this video, if you've been involved in this week's 5-day challenge, the Win Your Time Back Challenge, 5 days of stillness and presence with God, congratulations for making it to the last day. Now, before I say anything more, I had a different intention with today's video. I had a different intention with this whole week altogether. If you've been using your phone, which is funny because this whole week has been kind of about straying away from distractions and social media, but you can't get away from the news and the current events and issues that have occurred this week. If you've been on your phone or in the world at all, then you know that this week has been absolutely chaotic. World news this week has thrown me left and right, day after day. Now, I understand that issues happen every single day, but there's been some powerful issues that have occurred this week. Charlie Kirk, his passing away has hit me significantly hard, and I have never been someone to desire to get on camera and speak about my political views, about current world issues and news. In all honesty, number one, I've seen that there are always so many voices online. There's always a dummy and idiot with a phone wanting to talk about how they feel about this and that and the left and the right and all that. And I just think, like, man, people don't need an extra voice. What they need is the gospel, which partly is true. But secondly, my intention behind that is where I've been convicted, because I've always been comfortable staying in my own bubble. And with this particular issue that happened with Charlie Kirk passing away, it's really put a fire in my soul. I hope that it's not momentary, but I feel an urge to be more intentional with what the Lord has given me to steward. This YouTube channel, this video right now, is obviously one of those things that I'm called to steward. Now, there's a million different issues going on in the world right now. In fact, I just checked on my phone and there's been, at the time of me shooting this video, 357 mass shootings in America as to date. I was curious, a mass shooting describes a shooting where 4 or more people are killed, shot, or injured, excluding the shooter. So there's been that many victims, 4 times 357 and more, because it's at least 4. There hasn't even been 365 days in this year yet. So you pick your world issue, the protests, political unrest, and everything going on in Nepal, the continuous issues in Gaza and Israel, the school shooting that happened in Colorado, the Ukrainian refugee that got stabbed on the subway in Charlotte, North Carolina, the beheading that happened close to where I am in Dallas, Texas. You pick your world issue. And I think what I've realized is, as I've studied the scriptures, most of the prominent people in the Bible were heavily involved in the world around them. The prophets were at the temple speaking to the world leaders at that time. Jesus talked to people who were aware of what was going on in the world. He talked to Pharisees, he talked to leaders, he talked to the people, he addressed things going on in culture. And I've been convicted, so I want to be more open about giving you guys what the Lord is telling me to give you guys, whether that's hope, whether that's discipline, whether that's just raw truth, whatever it is. I think that, you know, when the world goes dark, there needs to be a light from Christ that people can turn to, because this world is not going to live up to what it says it is when the world goes chaotic. There's nowhere to turn. You can't fall back on your riches. You can't fall back on your ambition, your good looks, your career, anything, and your following, none of that. The only thing you can fall back is always outside of yourself, which is Jesus Christ. So it's times like these when we shine. So if you're a Christian, if you're anti-Christian, I don't care if you're Muslim, if you're Buddhist, if you're, what's it called, agnostic or atheist, confused. Anyways, that's a joke, but it doesn't matter what your religious or political affiliation is. I just want to talk about the truth, which is Jesus Christ. And if you don't believe that, then I urge you to just listen to this and tell me if you actually disagree with the words that I'm saying. So before I get into what our call is to do during these dark times, and altogether what we're called to do in life as Christians, I want to quickly give you the exercise for day 5. Day 5 of this challenge. Originally it was going to be something different, but what I feel called for us to do today is to pray and to reflect intentionally. I want you to pray intentionally, asking the Lord, have a conversation with him, ask him to lead you in life, and also make sure that you have a pen and pad, a paper and a pencil, something that is actually physically in hand. No phone, no laptop. Use a pen and paper or colored pencil or a marker or glue, or I don't care what you use. Just write with something physical and reflect on the things around you, how you feel, where God is taking you, what you learned this week. Just write. And I think you'll find that even if you don't like or you don't do writing often, it might be helpful for you to do this at this time. So pray intentionally, spend time with the Lord, and reflect deeply and intentionally. Now, as for all of us, if you haven't even been doing the challenge, I still challenge you to just at least do this day. This day particularly can be beneficial to you, even if you miss day 1 through 4. But I want to quickly read a passage that I think has really spoke to me during this time, during this week, during the heavy awareness of all the chaos going on in our world. I think it may encourage you too. Now, if you're just joining the faith, if you're just finding God in your life and just figuring out what it means to be a Christian, the Bible describes us as early Christians as infants in Christ, saying that we need to be fed with milk, that we don't have the capacity, the maturity to consume solid food or meat. In Hebrews and 1 Corinthians, the author of Hebrews and Paul the Apostle, who's writing 1 Corinthians, describes this, and he is urging for our maturity. He wants us to grow and be able to understand deeper messages about God in the Gospels, and also, most importantly, wants us to be used by Christ more through that maturity, through that development. We're not called to just stay in this space of, I wake up, I have a bad day, I call on the Lord, he comforts me, I go to sleep. I wake up, I have a bad day, I call. Just repeated cycle of personal issues and personal development without any external output or evangelism or discipleship. We're called to grow. That's what God is working in us. You're not called to be comforted just for your own good. You're comforted with a purpose. I want to encourage you to have that mindset, to constantly be thinking, God, it's not about, have I hit this plateau, this limit, your threshold of good? Am I okay that I'm going to make it to heaven so I can just live my life with ease? You should constantly be asking God, where have I messed up? Where can I be better? Who can I love? Who can I serve? Give me opportunities. Help me to be fulfilled by the Spirit and not by the flesh. Help me to feed my spirit and starve my flesh. Lord, help me to see where I am walking by deception and not walking by the truth of the scriptures. There should be a constant walk with Christ. And especially when you feel down, you feel empty, that's when you're called to have those deeper yearnings for God. That's how you get filled up. It's not by him providing you things, by him providing you the various desires of your heart. It's by you being utilized by the Spirit. I'm gonna get long-winded on these videos if I always talk like this with no script, and I just get emotional and honestly angry with what's going on. But Romans chapter 12, starting in verse 9. Listen, you will not be able to consume all of this right now just by me reading it. You need to take this passage and break it down for yourself. Write out, highlight, underline, notate the parts that are speaking to you specifically, because there's just a bundle of commands, of goodness, of truth in this one particular passage. And considering that we got this whole word and this is just 2 paragraphs, absolutely insane. Anyways, Romans chapter 12, verse 9. Let love be without hypocrisy. Detest evil, cling to what is good. Love one another deeply as brothers and sisters. Outdo one another in showing honor. Do not lack diligence and zeal. Be fervent in the spirit, serve the Lord. Rejoice in hope. Be patient in affliction. Be persistent in prayer. Got to read that one more time. Rejoice in hope. Be patient in affliction. Be persistent in prayer. Share with the saints in their needs. Pursue hospitality. Bless those who persecute you. Bless and do not curse. Rejoice with those who rejoice. Weep with those who weep. Live in harmony with one another. Do not be proud. Instead, associate with the humble. Do not be wise in your own estimation. Do not repay anyone evil for evil. Give careful thought to do what is honorable in everyone's eyes. If possible, as far as it depends on you, live at peace with everyone. Friends, do not avenge yourselves. Instead, leave room for God's wrath, because it is written, "Vengeance belongs to me. I will repay," says the Lord. But if your enemy is hungry, feed him. If he is thirsty, give him something to drink. For in so doing, you will be heaping fiery coals on his head. Do not be conquered by evil, but conquer evil with good. This week has been absolutely insane. It's been crazy. As far as my awareness is, it's just been a whole bunch of events and issues and problems thrown in our face. And honestly, every week it's going to be like this. I think it's easy as Christians to be aware of our own sin and therefore pin the world for the sin that it commits. The world is bad. I'm better because I at least know what is right. But the Bible illustrates for us that this world is going to be increasingly wicked. It's going to move by the way it's going to move, which is deception, which is sin. It doesn't know any better. But our command is to look at this evil, not point fingers, but in fact, put the responsibility on our shoulders. We are the salt of this earth. We are the light of this world. It's our responsibility. Every single issue, every single problem should be tied to a Christian praying for it, to a Christian serving in it, and to a Christian reaching out and seeking for the victims of that situation. There should not be a problem in this world that is untouched by the people of God. So that is our command. That's what we're called to do. We each have our own burdens to bear. And God calls us to appeal to those who are burdened and take on their burdens, to pray, love one another, to show hospitality, to outdo one another in showing honor. We have such a great task ahead of us. And if we're just caught up with pity me, woe is me, oh, I don't have the things I want and desire, God, do you actually love me? We'll never reach the fulfillment that God seeks to work in us. It is God who works and wills in us to work according to his good pleasures, according to his good purposes. And the greatest fulfillment you can ever reach is to be used by him, but you have to develop, you have to mature, you have to take that bold step forward. That's what the Lord has for you. So again, challenge for today is prayer and reflection for everyone. I don't care if you've been doing a challenge or not. I just hope that we can grow stronger. I hope that we learn to really shine our light in times of darkness. I love y'all so much. I'll be having Charlie Kirk's family in prayer, be having this world in prayer as it comes to mind. As I said, pick your world issue. If this SD card and this camera could last forever, it still wouldn't be enough to list all the issues going on in the world right now. But if there's something attached to your heart that speaks to you personally, maybe that's where God is calling you. Maybe that burden is yours specifically to bear. I love y'all. Congratulations on officially finishing the Win Your Time Back Challenge, 5 days of stillness and presence with God. And I will see you in the next video. Don't forget to hit the comment section below. Let's talk and encourage one another. I love y'all. Peace.